Hey everybody, it's Zach with the Mighty Electron, and I'm back with a follow-up video of my 2013 0DS. Okay, so I've had the bike now for a little bit of time, and I'm able to now give it my second opinion on it. First of all, I'm loving the quiet. I didn't think I would like it that much. In the first video, I told you that I'm one of the guys that I like how motorcycles sound. I like the sound of a gas engine. I like the sound of a big V8 Corvette. I do like that sound. But I'm really starting to like the quiet of the electric motor. It is just fun to ride, and it's fun to not hear anything like that. Now, I will say, it's always a bit of a pet peeve of mine when people say that, oh, electric motors are silent, electric vehicles are silent. Well, that's not exactly true. They are significantly more quiet than their ICE counterparts, but an electric motor still makes sound, number one, and number two, especially on a motorcycle, you still have the wind noise. So past 70 miles an hour, it sounds just like any other motorcycle in that all you hear is wind. However, sub 25 miles an hour, it's pretty cool because as you're driving around town, maybe you've got your partner on back or one of your kids, you can have a pretty good conversation with them, and it's kind of fun. Speaking of riding around town, I love this thing at any speed below 55 miles an hour. It's just fun. That completely linear torque curve is a blast. And around town, you're able to just move around and be where you want to be and zip in between traffic as you need to, of course, in a safe manner. It's fantastic. The reason why I say 55 miles an hour is because since this is a 2013, it just doesn't have the top end that a lot of bikes have. Like I said in my first video, I'd compare it to probably a 650 cruiser. So not a sport bike, but a 650 cruiser. And for cruisers, 650 isn't that big. So again, there's no problem with freeway speeds. You can get up to 80, 85, no problem, but you wouldn't want to stay there that long, and you can just feel that you're at the top end of the bike there. So 55 miles an hour, you've got a lot of direction either way to go where you need to, and that linear torque is a blast. It's a riot. The other thing that I love that really doesn't have anything to do with this particular bike, it's just bikes in general, is where I live, lane filtering is legal, and it is fantastic. This is a new law change since the last time I owned a motorcycle, and it completely changes the game. You almost feel guilty moving up in traffic and just kind of butting to the front of the line, but hey, it's the law, it keeps people safe, and it's darn fun. I'm surprised how much time it shaves off of my commute, and I'm a little embarrassed to say how much I like doing it. Maybe I'm a terrible person, I don't know. I will say this though, and this kind of moves into the section of things that I don't like about this bike. At the beginning of the video, I said how much I like the silent. However, I am a believer that loud pipes save lives, because nobody, on a motorcycle, you know that you're already invisible. People don't see you. Well, now on an electric bike, people don't hear you either. So with lane filtering, you sneak up on a lot of people. And then just riding in general around town, people don't hear you as they're turning left. They don't hear you as you're turning right. They don't hear you as you're coming up to a crosswalk. They don't do anything. I mean, the other day I went by somebody and I saw them get startled because they just had no idea that I was there. So you do have to be, I mean, on any motorcycle, you have to be extremely careful. But on these, you have to be even more careful, because even though I just got done saying that electric motors aren't silent, they are so much more quiet, and so you do need to be that much more careful and letting people know that you're there. Another thing that I'm not in love with the bike is, since there are no gears, when you turn the bike off, there's nothing to stop it from rolling away. Now granted, you can turn the handlebars and lock it into place like most bikes let you do, but if you're on a steep driveway or something like that, a lot of times, at least what I would normally do with an ICE engine bike, is shift it into first, turn it off, you let go of the clutch, and you that's kind of your emergency brake there. This doesn't have that. So maybe they fix that in future models, I'm not sure, but it is just something to be aware of. if you're in a steep situation, you're gonna have to figure out how to park the right way so that your bike just doesn't roll down the hill. The other thing that really needs a lot of improvement is the app. The Zero app is, quite frankly, terrible. It's inconsistent. Half the time the Bluetooth works, half the time it doesn't. I'm running an iPhone. It doesn't show me the correct bike. When it does connect, it says that I have a 2013 S, which I don't. I have a DS. In addition to that, a lot of the settings, I'll throw up some screenshots here, but you're supposed to be able to adjust how much torque you want, what your top end is, how much braking percentage you want. Every time I adjust those, they all just go back to the default setting anyway. Now, it is kind of cool to see your current battery state. It is cool to see how many amps you're using and your dollars per mile and that type of thing, even though that's just a calculation based on numbers that you've put in of what your ICE vehicle's MPG is and how much you pay per gallon of fuel and that type of stuff. So there are some fun things in there, but the app doesn't work. 1 star on the app. All in all, I'm loving this experience. This is a great bike. I'm thinking that I might need to try to do some customizations on it. Nothing too crazy, but just try to dress it up a little bit. We'll see. Maybe there'll be another video on that. But until then, stay safe and keep the rubber side down. Talk to you guys later.